John Dickey, the Chief of Police here in Pulaski, is with me today, and we are here to talk about a few issues that might touch on folks' lives. One being the texting while driving. We see a lot of that going on in the community, and what things do you recommend that we do to help curb that?
Well, there is current legislation on that prohibits texting or reading a text message while driving. And, you know, I've looked at that and studied that pretty careful. And the biggest thing that I guess would be to ask the public to, you know, it requires their participation and them to police that and how serious it is. I mean, you know, a lot of people have even compared it to being under the influence of a cell phone as compared to being under the influence of alcohol. So, you know, while it's still legal, you know, to use a cell phone as far as telephone call goes, you know, making a call or receiving a call, you're prohibited from reading a text or sending a text. And that makes it pretty difficult to differentiate between the two if you're in law enforcement and you're patrolling from a car and you know, trying to observe those type violations. So, you know, I just ask that the public would be real cognizant of that, how serious and dangerous it is, because it's a major distractor.
Right.
And I think at some point in time we've all done it. And it's not, you know, it's certainly very unsafe. And I mean, you've seen cars drive around that have been wrecked and says, you know, it says don't text and drive. And I mean, in reality, that happens. You know, it can cause, you know, major property damage and loss of life, and certainly, you know, just a little bit of inconvenience would go a long way if people would recognize that.
Absolutely. Now, talk to me a little bit about the new laws that they have coming out now on the drinking and driving. I understand they're stepping it up just a touch.
There are several, and you know, the legislation that has passed, I think takes effect July the 1st of 2013, is pretty complicated. Now, the 22nd Judicial District Attorney General Mike Bottoms has put out a memorandum to the law enforcement agencies in the 22nd Judicial District, trying to answer and sort of lessen that complication, if you will, of what all of that means and the type questions that might be asked of that. And the best that I can get from it is that this interlock device would be put on someone's vehicle if they're, you know, if they're convicted of DUI. And they obtain a restricted license, and the penalties are different. The fines, it's pretty expensive even on the violator to obtain that and maintain that device. So the best thing would be is to, you know, don't drink and drive to begin with.
Absolutely.
And of course, you know, having said that, there will be people to do that, but it's
but if they realize the expense is going to be a little bit, if they kind of get a heads up on that on the front end, that this is going to be a lot more trouble than just going to court and dealing with it, you may have this interlock system and have to deal with a lot more.
And that's with a restricted license, so you still wouldn't be free to do whatever you wanted. You'd have restrictions with that. But
I know that with the school shootings and things that have been going on, this is another area of concern around the country. And what types of things are we doing right here in Giles County and Pulaski to protect our children and teachers in our schools?
Well, we started this several months ago, certainly as a result of the recent shooting in Connecticut. And what we've done, we've taken a look at what resources we have and what we can do to try to be of assistance in that area. We have a full-time SRO that's assigned to Giles County High School. And what we've done at the other schools is we have the day shift officers at random to go by those schools, be seen in those schools, and not have no set time. Different officers, different times. I've even scheduled our criminal investigations unit 4 days out of the 5 that they're assigned to the school, one of them, and so to help in that area. So you have basically a plainclothes officer in the school as well, and you know, working with that, our community services officer, I've given him that responsibility as well.
That sounds wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Chief Dickey, for talking with us today, and we will catch up with you again later on in the summer with more information from the Pulaski Police Department.
All right, thank you.